Okay, hello. Good evening, Samuel, Favor, Rufai, Emini, and Mr. Adam. I hope you cannot hear me.
I
Yes,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you. I
Hear
can
you.
hear
You're
you.
right.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Please, if you can hear me, kindly confirm by either a raise of hand or you say hi.
Hi.
Hear me? So we are going to start immediately. So once again, welcome you training, and I congratulate you for taking part to be a solution to the water scarcity crisis we are having in the world today. Okay, so this training is put together by Cerpmist Environmental Academy with our partner T5 Water, which will be joining us as well as we commence this training today. This is a 3 days training. It will be commencing today, and we'll call it to conclusion on Saturday with a business presentation where we'll be introduced to various water purification systems that we can use at home for others while we make some good fortune for ourselves. So today we are to be looking at the at this topic together, water analysis and treatment, and is going to be more of discussion because we believe that us already have experience in water analysis and treatment. So I'll be sharing my screen and I'll be sharing my side. But before we go deep into the section tonight, I would like each and our steps and our okay. So I'm seeing the first person. Please introduce yourself, followed by Mr. Eminike Rufai and Favor, then the last person. Thank you. Hello. Okay, in no particular order, let's just start introducing ourselves so we can be able to cover what we have today.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Hello. Okay. Good evening. My name is Olokun Favor Oluwatobi. I am from Tripod Global Limited, and I'm happy to be here to talk about, solutions to the water crisis that we're currently having in the country. And I look forward to having an interactive. Yes, good evening once again.
Welcome, please.
Hello, good evening. My name is Rufai Olawade Oriola. I'm from Lagos here. I joined this training purposely to have a knowledge about water analysis and treatment. Thank you. You are all welcome.
All right. Next person. Please. We want to be very fast. Please. Thank you.
Hello,
Yes.
I'm Ada Andrew Iberabiam, a staff of College of Health, an environmentalist by profession. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's why.
Okay. Next person, please. Next person, please. The purpose of our introduction is so we'll be able to know ourselves and equally use this opportunity to network in the industry. We are now coming in and we deliver effective service when it comes to water treatment analysis. So next person, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nike. I base in Port Harcourt. Work in a lab, do an environmental lab. So why I'm here is that I want to get more knowledge on water analysis. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. So I believe while we are waiting for others to join, we might not be able to keep waiting. So we are going to continue and dive into what we have today. Okay. So we are already aware that this training is not a master class. It's a basic introduction to water analysis and treatment, where you start building your skill. For the skill, you'll be able to improve on what you already know, because learning is about unlearning, relearning. So you learn what you already know before and you unlearn it and relearn again. So that's how knowledge sharing continues. Today, we believe that water is a very okay. So water is very essential life liquid that we survive. If there is any, then someone should just. If there's anything we can use in to substitute for water, kindly let me know, please. It's going to be an interactive class, so I just want us to interact, please. Once I ask a question, we respond, and so we
There is nothing to substitute for water yet.
that there's no substitute for water. Do we?
Yes, there is no substitute for water.
I don't think there's any substitute for water. Water is life.
That's just the fact. There is no substitute for water.
Yes, you're all correct. So there is no how you will be testing and you feel like okay, what
I can't hear you. I don't know if you are communicating. I can't hear you.
Can someone hear me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Now.
Sir, I can hear you now, but I would like to advise that is maybe you change your location. There's break in your audio.
Mission. Okay, please, I'm sorry for that. Whenever you notice that, kindly quickly call my attention, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So let's proceed and go on. So I've said it before that water is very essential liquid that we need for our everyday survival. And to the best of my knowledge, and as you can all agree, there's no substitute for water. There's nothing you can substitute for it. And so we all depend on it for our daily survival. Okay. So the next thing we are going to look at here is this screen is not moving well. Just sorry, please. I want to open the next. It's not moving. Please give me a little time. My slide is not moving.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Please, can we have a recorded version of this class and other classes?
Recorded version.
Yes, as it is. When you finish, we can have a record one so that we can still go back and look into. Can the class be recorded? As I'm asking. Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm going to.
Hello, I think it's a good suggestion to have a recorded version after the presentation.
Okay, better. We are going to definitely do that. So that everything will. Okay, so why
I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you,
you
sir.
one of the importance of treating water is because one, we understand very well that as a result of climate change, our water body, which is a source where we get water to drink, has been very much affected. Climate change, human action are also contributing to pollution of our water body, both surface and underground water. And the United Nations came together before now and agreed to ensure that before or by 2030, everyone, everywhere, we have access to portable and affordable, safe drinking water before 2030. and it has become a talk without action. And the most important need for this kind of training is to into action, because we understand that the cost of treating water to make water safe and portable for consumption is on the high side, that not everyone can be able to afford. So setting up a water treatment system in your school, in your church, in your business area, you can know how much it will cost you, which going down to the rural area where people depend so much on water from the stream or from the well, and that due to the climate change, like I said, and environmental pollution caused by human action or natural occurrences are contributing to the pollution and contamination of this water and rendering it unsafe for them every day. So what is the solution? The solution is in our hands to ensure that we treat this water and reduce the burden of water associated diseases associated with water, that is water based. Just give me a little moment. I want to share from here for you. So at the end of this course, we should be able to understand the importance of water analysis and the treatment. And then we also have a concept that are related to water quality, which includes the physical, chemical, and the biological practice. So you will be able to acquire proficiency as well in the use of analytical techniques and instruments for water sample collection, their preservation, and analysis. So one of us introduced ourselves that he works in the lab and environmental lab, and you know what it means, which means they deal with collection of sample every day and the rest of it. So water, like we know, is a transparent and tasteless, odorless, and only colorless chemical substance that is composed of hydrogen and hydrogen and oxygen. So mostly when we are in school, we say I newly introduced to the formula. We say, oh, H2O. Quick, whenever you need water, say I need H2O, and people will clearly understand. So I think that it is very essential for our soul. It's very, very essential. Oh, we are going to see, like you have requested, I'm going to actually do a recording version and send so that we can follow the slide accordingly. So if you look at the water cycle, you will notice that the water is in a cycle. The water is in a cycle. It's either it is gotten from the surface or it is gotten from underground. It's gotten as a result of rainfall. And so it has a cycle that it follows. The water, when it falls, it precipitates as rain and fall. And then plant also take in the water through a process called, they take the water in, and also when the water got into the ground, it percolates into the ground. On the surface, when the sun is, the water do what? Evaporate and goes up. When it condenses, again, when the cloud is heavy, the water come down again and fall as rain. As a result of industrial activities, when this water is interacting with the atmosphere and the environment, pollutants and contaminants are introduced into it. Different sources of why going down, we are going to look at the various sources through which contaminants get into the water. Because the purpose of this is to know how to analyze and check if there are these contaminants in water in excess as beyond standard. So most of the chemicals that are found in our water, they are not bad. Most of them are good for our body, metabolic. But then when they are in excess, you agree with me that they said excess of everything is bad. Yes. So when it becomes excess, it becomes a problem to the human body, causing us different health effects like cancer. You can talk about cancer, you talk about diarrhea. People are shouting every day. We heard of the recent outbreak of cholera in the country. It's caused by or as a result of consumption of contaminated water that has come in contact or water that has come in contact with human feces. And in the riverine area, you see a practice of people navigating directly into the water body. And this is the same water they drink. This is the same water that the animal also drink. And this is the same water that the animal also what? Navigate or drops their waste in. So it becomes very more bothering and very much important to look into water analysis and treatment. So there are so many parameters that we look at when it comes to water quality analysis. One of such quality is the pH of the water. That is one of the parameters. You look at the pH of the water, the temperature of the water, the turbidity of the water, the dissolved oxygen in the water. That is, you also have the conductivity of the water. So these are the qualities we are going to be looking at. In this quality, I'm putting them all together, both the physical, the chemical, and the biological. They're all in this. So we also have the total dissolved solids. That is the TDS. We have the nutrient, just as the nitrogen and phosphorus that are formed. These are gotten from chemical fertilizer that are applied maybe through as a result of runoff, they get into the water body. So these parameters are very crucial indicators that we can use to know whether a water is safe for our head or not. So having said this, like I said earlier that this is going to be an interactive class. Now, I talk about pH, I talk about temperature, I talk about turbidity. So between pH and the nutrient, which of these can be classified as physical and the biological parameter of the water? Somebody there? Hello?
Hello.
I want I want someone to answer me so that we
Hello.
be active. Yes, thank you.
Can you hear me? I think the pH and the nutrients. The pH should be the physical parameter, while the nutrients should be the biological parameter. That's my thoughts.
Look, do we agree with that? Do we all agree with that? If there's any other counter opinion, please let us know so we can move forward. The pH and the nutrient, which is biological, which is physical. Hello. Okay, so let's continue. So in this, none of this is biological. We only have the chemical and the physical property of the water. So who can also identify for us the biological parameter of this water? Where does it fall? Does it fall under turbidity or under conductivity? Okay, so that's just that. I just want us to think a little. So when you look at the water that is the water that has high level of turbidity, you understand that there are impurities in that water that are not good for consumption. You will know that they are physically this water is not good for consumption. It becomes suspicious. You say, how do I drink this water that is this cloudy, is so dark, I can't even see through it. You know that the level of oxygen in that water is very much reduced, and there are some chemicals that have caused that turbidity to appear like you can see. So the water is that cloudy. Then conductivity too tell us about the quantity of iron that is in the water. If there is high iron, the water will be able to conduct electricity. Okay, so iron give ability to that water to conduct electricity. If the iron is high, it becomes what? Detrimental to human's health. If it is low, it's also what? A problem. And so water treatment try to balance each of these to standard as given by World Health Organization. I'm going to give us an assignment on this. Recently, there have been high technological equipment that have been developed to be able to analyze water within a very short period of time. So I'm going to give an assignment on that, which you are going to submit before tomorrow class. List out some recent water analysis equipment, technological water analysis equipment. So you see that technology is making things easier. So how do water get polluted? How do our water source get polluted and contaminated? Can someone tell me? So there are various sources through which our water get contaminated. And one of such sources is what? I would like each and every one of us to give at least one source through which our water are contaminated. One source through which our water get contaminated. Mr. Emilike, please could you help us for one? Mr. Samuel, please. Someone just please kindly tell us.
Hello.
Yes.
Is it the medium through which they get polluted or the pollutant itself?
The source. How does the pollutant get into the water?
I know sometimes chemical can come into even fecal matter, human excrete, like you rightly mentioned. That is pollutants that pollute the water. It can come through the medium of direct contact with water, maybe the river, soil, or even aerosol, the air, atmosphere, through particulate matters floating around the atmosphere. Water
Okay.
can be contaminated through these mediums by a particular kind of contaminants.
Okay. Thank you. So who are someone person to contribute to that? Yes. Who else is talking? Please let's interact in the class. Mr. Samuel, can you help us out? Okay, so like Mr. Ada have said, yes, I agree with that. So there are other sources through which our water can also be contaminated. One of the sources is through industrial activities. Like I mentioned earlier while I was doing the introduction to this particular topic. You understand that we have a lot of industry, especially those living within the Niger Delta region. And when the industries, or let me say Lagos states, those living in Lagos and Rivers State might understand this more better. What this industry does is after their production, they directly discharge their waste into the water body, rendering the water body useless. And you understand the water cycle that anything that affects the air can also affect the water. Do we agree with that? And this water, when it gets to the earth, it also pollutes the underground water. The surface water is contaminated. The underground water is also what? Contaminated because the chemical, their waste are discharged directly into the water body. Another source through which our water got polluted is through agricultural activities or practices. While we mentioning some factors that we look at, I mentioned that we also have nutrients in this water that I look at the example of nitrogen that I made mention and phosphorus. So when people apply fertilizer during agricultural activities and it rains, what do you think when it happens? Can someone please just tell me? When it rains and there's water and water runs on the surface of a farmland where fertilizer has been applied, what will happen to the source?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
What will happen to the water source is that the chemical in the fertilizer or agricultural usage will leach into the water table and pollute the water in the underground, on the surface water, then to the underground water.
Okay, thank you. Do any other person agree with that? So,
Yes, I agree with him.
okay, thank you. So, those are the various sources, these are the things that we see every day in our society. And sometimes we begin to ask, how does this water get contaminated? When people are using chemical to plant, industry are discharging their waste directly into the water body. Apart from the fact that it affects human beings, it also affects the aquatic lives that are living in the water. Sometimes you say what a fish will just die because what the water has been contaminated by chemical or by waste from the industry or from agricultural setting. Mining are also one of the things. Mining and resources extraction are also one of the source through which our water get contaminated. Like in Rivers State, I give an instance, or other oil producing communities. You will see that when, like what happened in Ogoni, when Shell was extracting oil, you notice and witness the level of environmental degradation and pollution that happened in Ogoni land. The water body was contaminated, highly contaminated and polluted with chemicals and oil. So these mining activities also add or contribute to water pollution and contaminant. How about landfills, where people just throw things side, you see waste dump close to a water source, a community water, a source of water that supply water to the community. People are dumping their waste. What do you think that happens? So there are also natural sources that contribute to water pollution or contaminant. The rock through which the S crush through which the water is gotten come in, the water also come in contact with this rock, and some of this rock have some element of chemicals in them. And that is why sometimes we witness hardness in water. The high level of potassium and calcium in the water causes the water to be hard. So this can be sources or where through which water can be polluted or contaminated through the various contaminants. So it becomes very important that after knowing this fact that our water is not safe, the water we are drinking every day is not safe. In Nigeria, there are some people who are importing water from overseas to eat, some top of our top politicians. They import their water from outside. They don't drink the water we are drinking here. And then the poor are the ones who suffer every day just to get a little water to drink. You are drinking the polluted one, the one that are rejected. Even the pure water that we call, the sachet water that we call pure water is not safe for our drinking. Some of the bottled water companies that produces water, they are not even supposed to be in production. When you visit their facility to see what they are doing, you will be surprised that is it the clean water you're seeing. So what that tells us that for the fact that you see the physical appearance of water, that the water is clean, does not make that water to be what? Safe for consumption. Water is clean. Oh, this water is pure. There might be some element of pollutant in that. It's either the chemical, is other word, and the rest of it. So when you look at the characteristics of water, you see that water should be tasteless, colorless, and odorless, and the rest of it. Once the water have any of these things, the water is not safe for human consumption. And so it becomes very necessary that we get our water for what? For analysis. Get your water for analysis because you cannot determine, you cannot just merely say, this water is polluted. Where is the evidence? Where is the data? How can you show that this water is contaminated or polluted or not safe for human consumption? Although by human reasoning, merely seeing it, the nature of the water and the condition, we can know that this water is polluted